Welcome to Hope for Today, and the purpose of this show is to help you to uplift, encourage, and inspire you to change your life for the better. We have with us today Aaron Brown, who is helping with the marketing with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And we were talking a few minutes ago about how Aaron got involved, and he mentioned a word. He said, I just love this organization, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Why?
Because the organization impacts the lives of children. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. So, you know, Big Brothers, Big Sisters helps children reach their potential through one-on-one mentoring relationships. So they impact kids, but in the same token, as a volunteer, as a big brother or big sister, you're also impacted.
Now, you have two big brothers?
I have two little brothers, yes.
Two little brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your experience in trying to mentor young men.
It's an unbelievable experience. So Tyree, he's my youngest little brother. He's 13. We've been matched for a little over 3 years. And you know, he's the son of a single mother who works a lot, doesn't have a man, doesn't have a male influence in his life. He doesn't see his father. So I've been able to kind of fill that role for him. He didn't know how to talk to girls. He didn't know how to treat people. He's never seen a man in action as far as being a father. So I've been able to incorporate him into my life, into my family, and have him kind of see that firsthand. It's challenging. I mean, it can be challenging, but that's also what makes it exciting. It's not easy, but that's what makes it exciting. It makes it exciting that you know that you can make a difference in the lives of these children just by investing a little bit of time.
Now, when people want to volunteer to be a big brother and big sister, what do they do?
Well, they can go to our website, first of all. I mean, it's bbbsnei.org, and sign up there. They can call the office at 888-456-1600. So that's the first step, is making the call or getting involved. But then they go through a screening process, an interview process, because we want to match the big brother or big sister with a child who has similar interest. So if you were signing up to be a big brother and you love football, we'd like to find you a little brother, a little boy that likes football, to give you some of those things in common. So you go through an interview process, they match you with the right child, and away you go.
Too bad we don't ask parents, would-be parents, to go through an interview process before they have children. You know, maybe we'd have some different results.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about what you've seen over the years. You've been involved, what, 4 years?
4 years.
Tell me what changes you've seen, positive.
Well, I mean, you know, with my two little brothers, you know, I've seen hygiene improve. My youngest little brother, you know, didn't wear deodorant when we first started being matched because Mom didn't tell him every morning to wear deodorant, and so I've seen improvements in, you know, things like simple like hygiene, respect levels for your elders and how you talk to and treat other people, improvement in school. You know, that's probably the one thing that shows the power of mentoring. You know, my oldest little brother, he's a senior this year at Wayne High School.
Oh my!
When we were paired 2 years ago, he was failing. He loves basketball, wanted to play on the basketball team, but he couldn't make the team because his grades weren't good enough. Today, he's a senior, he's an AB student, and he's thinking about college. And I've worked with him on homework 0. I've never sat down with him and tutored him. We talk about what's happening at school, but we've never sat down, and I've never helped him. So it just shows that offering encouragement, being there for him, it gives them a whole new perspective, and they're willing to give effort. And so I've really seen him change from that standpoint.
What would you advise prospective volunteers or brothers or sisters to do?
Well, first of all, get past that misperception that you have to change your life to change the life of a child. There's this belief that there's this huge time commitment in order to be a part of this program, and that's not the case. There's 2 different types of programs. One is the community-based program, where you're matched with a child in the community. You go pick them up at their home, you take them to the movies, you take them to play putt-putt, you take them to the park, you spend time with them outside of school for 4 hours a month. So what we really ask is 2 times during the month for a minimum of 2 hours each time. Then we have a site-based program we call School Buddies. For 45 minutes a week, you go and eat lunch with a young man, a young boy, young girl at school during their lunch period. So we all like to eat, right? We all have lunch.
Sure.
We're asking that as a big brother, big sister, you're paired with that child and you spend one lunch a week over at a local elementary school. 25 minutes of that's typically eating, and then typically there's a 20-minute or so recess period afterwards where you can help with homework, you can play games, you can go out on the playground. So it's a very easy way. 45 minutes a week can really change the life of a child.
Well, I'm not qualified to be a big brother. I don't have a psychology degree. I don't have this. I don't have that. How could I help a child?
You just need to be a friend. You know, as a volunteer, we don't ask our big brothers or big sisters to be, you know, doctors. We don't ask them to be tutors. We don't ask them to be social workers. We don't ask them to be parents. We just want them to be a friend, somebody who will invest a little bit of time in that child, offer some encouragement. A lot of the children we serve at Big Brothers, Big Sisters, they don't have that at home, potentially. They don't have that second parent, or they don't have that encouragement. So you don't have to have any degree, you don't have to be qualified. If you like spending time with children and you're willing to invest a little bit of time, this is the program for you.
There's a lot of money involved. You got to spend a lot of money on kids?
I rarely spend money on my little brothers.
Uh-huh.
We like to just do things. My oldest little brother, he likes to play basketball, so we spend time playing basketball. We play video games at my house. I take him home. Every now and then, we'll go out to dinner. We might go to the movies and do something fun, but that's not what it's about. It's not about spoiling these children by taking them and spending money on them. It's really just about investing the time. And you know what you'll find is most of the kids, that's what they want. Most of the kids just want to spend time, even if it's just going to the grocery store, running a few errands around town. A lot of kids don't get out of the house other than going to school, so it gives them a chance to just get out and spend time with you. That's all they're looking for.
So you're saying that if I show up and I care, truly care about the welfare of this child, I could make a difference?
Absolutely.
In what way?
You're there for them when they need you. So you're there as a friend, you're there as a confidant, you're there to give them encouragement, you're there to challenge them when they want to give up. You're just a presence in their life. And again, for a lot of the children that in our community, a lot of the children that we serve, you know, they may not have that at home for one reason or another.
Okay. Aaron, as you talk to people in the community, what are you hearing about the results that you get? What have you seen so far?
Well, the results are really phenomenal. We track a lot of things. When you think about from a school buddy standpoint, you know, the kids who have a school buddy, their attendance is better. The kids who have a school buddy have less referrals to the office. The kids who have a school buddy's reading levels and their Dibble scores are higher. Kids who have a school buddy typically tend to perform better from a school standpoint. So from that standpoint, we have data that shows that this type of program works. If you were to bring in, we have 1,500 big brothers and big sisters currently matched with a child in our neighborhood, in our area. Okay. If you were to bring those people in and ask them that question, I mean, you're going to find that it has just as much impact on their life as a big brother and big sister as they're probably having on the child. So it's such a positive experience for the child, and it's even more positive as the adult, as the big, to be able to impact the life of that child, and ultimately they impact you back.
There are going to be some people looking at this segment of our show, and they're going to ask you to respond to their favorite radio station, WII-FM. What's in it for me?
Sure.
How do you respond to that?
Well, I mean, I think there's a number of ways. I mean, one is self-development. I'm a firm believer that a commitment to giving, a commitment to helping others is a commitment to self-development. And so when you invest time in others, you're really investing time in yourself. And so you want a new perspective on things. You want to be thankful for maybe what you have. Volunteer in the life of a child who maybe has challenges that you've never faced in your life. And it gives you a whole new perspective on things. And the sense of accomplishment to see those children grow. You know, there's a lot of stories out there where big brothers have, long after the match is closed, because at the age of 18, the match closes through the program. But the big brothers have gone on to be the best man at weddings.
Really?
And the big sisters have been a part of planning weddings. So with length comes strength. So the longer the relationships, obviously we build very strong bonds, and I don't know any person that wouldn't like to have strong relationships in their life period, whether it's with a child or other adults.
So it is developing a long-term relationship.
Sure. That's our
and
goal.
truly caring about someone else. That doesn't require a lot of money.
No,
It just
requires
requires heart.
It's just heart and time. I mean, if you're willing to, to invest 45 minutes a week in the school buddy program or 4 hours a month in the community program and do that over time. I've been matched with one little brother for 3 years, the other for 2 years. I fully expect to have relationships with these two young men the rest of my life. As they get married and have children, I hope that we have a friendship that lasts. And I firmly believe that that's what we're doing, and that's why I do it, is that they're going to need that person in their life at some point. And I would be honored to be that person, to be there for them when they needed it.
Don't we all need someone like that in our lives?
Absolutely.
But if we can catch it at a younger age, maybe you can turn a situation around from a very negative to a positive.
We live in a me world.
Yes, we do.
And so we're one catastrophe life event away from needing other people, whether it's a loss of a job or a loss of a loved one, where you have to rely on people around you. And, to love thy neighbor, you have to get to know the neighbor. You have to be willing to invest time in your neighbor, and that's what this program is really all about. It's investing time, because we all need relationships. We all have to count on each other.
Sure. Do you have any personal experiences that you can share without naming names about the positives that you've seen?
Well, I mean, there's so many. I can think of one particular instance where one of the boys was faced with a tough challenge on the streets of Fort Wayne, and quickly made the right decision. But right after that, sent me a text message and let me know what happened, and he was proud of kind of the stance that he made. And that made me feel good that the conversations that we've had about decision making and consequences and taking the right path were heard, but yet that he was very open to share that with me afterwards, which means a lot, because at times as a big brother or big sister, you're always going to question the impact. You're going to question, am I really having an impact? And you have these moments where it just kind of shines through, and you say, okay, what we've been talking about has been heard, and it works, and it just makes you feel good about what you do.
Now, you're involved now in trying to recruit new people. Tell me, how do you do that? What's involved in this?
Well, I guess first of all, we have a serious need for big brothers and big sisters. We have, in our area in Northeast Indiana, there's over 500 children right now on our waiting list.
500 children?
76% of those are boys. So we have a real need right now for men role models. And so in June, we launched a campaign called Man Up. We're looking for men in the community.
Sounds like a vitamin.
Yeah, we want men in the community that are willing to step up and man up and do their part to help develop these boys. We have another 500 or 600 kids potentially on the waiting list to get on the waiting list. There's a huge need for mentors and for people to invest in the lives of these children. So we launched this campaign, and right now we're looking for businesses who are willing to get involved or that are open to allowing us to come in and speak about the need. We're working with other community organizations right now. Excited about an initiative that kicks off tomorrow, where we're calling it Big Brothers, Big Barbers. And we've partnered with 26 barber shops and salons in the Northeast Indiana area who are going to actively recruit for us. And they're going to have a man-up barber jacket, and barber shops a lot of times are the center of communities, especially urban communities, and that's where men tend to gather. So we're excited about that partnership. And so right now it's about spreading the word for the need, because when people hear those numbers, they're surprised at how many kids there are waiting. And once we get people exposed to the mission and to the children and to our goals, people tend to want to get involved because they can change a life.
Well, changing a life for the better.
Absolutely.
There's not a 100% success rate, obviously, but if you can help a child understand that there are decisions and there are consequences, and whatever decision you make, there will be a consequence, and you get to choose. And just having someone you could share a thought with is important.
Absolutely.
But I'm surprised at the number of people on the waiting list and waiting to get on the waiting list.
The program is successful, and so there, in some instances, like we have elementary school principals who would love for us to try to recruit a school buddy for every one of their students, regardless of their personal situation, because of the stats we talked about earlier, that we see the benefits of having a school buddy. So the program works, and there's a lot of need in our community, all kinds of need. And with children, it's about getting them on the right path, and hopefully somebody can kind of show them how to make right decisions and understand consequences. And there's a lot of parents, there's a lot of guidance counselors that just know kids that just need that extra help.
Well, there's going to be a choice made, and the choice is going to be the right path or a wrong path. Mm-hmm. So obviously, with your program working, and you can prove that,
yep,
then people need to get off the couch and get involved.
Absolutely. I mean, it's taking action. Regardless of what cause it is in our community, we need people that are willing to take action. And what better way than to invest a little bit of time in the life of a child and help that child develop into a citizen that will, contribute and that will do big things, and ultimately, hopefully, will pay it forward and help other kids as they grow and become adults.
Mm-hmm. And you had shared with me before you were in the corporate arena and mm-hmm. came into mm-hmm. this nonprofit arena, and the reasons for that. How do you see yourself impacting this community in a positive way?
Well, I love community. I'm all about giving personally, so having the opportunity to help Big Brothers Big Sisters recruit, I mean, that for me is just one small part of how I hope to impact the community. My family and I launched a service project a little over a year ago called Impact 52. And as a family, our goal was to volunteer with a different nonprofit organization or cause every week for 52 weeks.
Now wait a minute. I want you to repeat that, and please listen to what he's saying, because this is a critical issue. And if you will take 5 minutes to do this, just think of the ripple effect what can have. Would you share that again?
Yeah, so we
start 52.
Impact 52, and so the decision was that we would volunteer with a different nonprofit or cause of some sort every week for 52 weeks for 3 reasons. 1, as a family, we felt like we needed to get more involved. 2, I wanted to teach my children, their ages 14 and 11, about volunteerism and service. Again, it's a me world. I wanted them to understand that the world was much bigger than me. And lastly, we hope that we could inspire other families, other individuals to get more involved. So we created a blog, and so every week we volunteer and we write about the experience in the hopes that people will read it and say, wow, I could do that. And I'm proud to say we're in week 66. So we actually completed a whole year. The response in this community and communities all across the country and actually all over the world as far as the response to our blog has been so positive and so inspiring that we want to continue to share those stories as long as we feel like we can reach one person every week. If we can inspire one person every week to do more than they were doing yesterday, we've accomplished something. And we want to create an epidemic of giving that infects person to person to person. Think about the community that we would live in and the world we would live in if every person gave a little bit more than they were giving today.
And we're not talking necessarily money.
No.
Just give of yourself.
Yep. And that's some of the myths that we wanted to debunk, is that you don't have to have a lot of money to make a difference in your community. To me, investing time is just as important, if not more important, for a lot of organizations, because so many organizations rely heavily on volunteers. So the myth out there that people don't have time is frustrating, because to me the word time is an acronym for this is my excuse.
Sure.
Because if we prioritize our life and how we spend our time and truly evaluate it, you can find that you can give an hour a week or 45 minutes a week or 2 hours a month, that you can do more than you're doing.
Well, the good Lord spoke specifically about helping children, mm-hmm. and the disciples were trying to scurry away some children. He said, do not do that. Let them come to me.
Right.
So you're essentially doing the same thing,
sure.
correct?
Yeah.
You're trying to bring children in and teach them values,
yep. Absolutely. I mean, that's what Big Brothers and Big Sisters is all about, is just reaching out to those kids that might be at risk and trying to instill values and work ethic and just be there for them to help them make the decisions down through their life and make sure they go down the right path.
Have you talked to a lot of business owners about this?
We have a lot of great support from the business. Actually, I mean, I just left a meeting with Walgreens here in town, and,
sure.
and you know, they had 18 employees sign up to be a part of the program today.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
I know Starbucks out Southwest has a sign up about Big Brothers,
yep.
Big Sisters.
We have a lot of companies and organizations that believe in our mission, have a lot of volunteers. So,
well, we've got a few minutes left. I'd just like you to share from your heart and appeal to the people to get
Absolutely.
off the couch and come help.
It's time for us as a community to take action. You know, if we don't take action, we're going to continue to have kids who are killing kids, kids that are taking guns to school, guns to movie theaters. We're going to continue to have drug epidemic. If we don't take action as a community, we're going to continue to have children who slip through the cracks. And for some of these children, it's just one person who could invest a little bit of time. They need that one person who would be there for them to help them when times are tough. And for a lot of children, they don't have that. And so as a community, it's our responsibility to rethink how we spend our time, prioritize giving back to the community, and deciding to get involved. We hope it's with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, because we think we have an unbelievable program that impacts lives. At the end of the day, we want people to act some way, shape, or form. If Big Brothers, Big Sisters and children's not what they want to do, find something that you, but if children's your passion, we'd love to have you at Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
But please, come help the kids. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Because they are going to grow up and they are going to be involved in the community. Maybe we can help them be involved in a productive, positive way.
Yep.
Aaron, thank you. Thank you so much
for having
sharing
me.
your afternoon. We're glad to have you here. And for those of you at home, get off the couch and go help, please. Thank you.